Story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good afternoon, CoreTV News on the hour. I'm Tolu Ojewumi. Boko Haram has claimed responsibility for a June 25 bombing in the capital, Abuja, and an attack in Lagos, which it says authorities tried to cover up in its latest video obtained by AFP. Abubakar Shekau also voices support for the extremist Sunni Islamic State militants who have taken over large swathes of territories in Iraq and Syria. He went ahead to mock the social media campaign, Bring Back Our Girls, which emerged to call attention to the plight of the more than 200 schoolgirls kidnapped on April 14 by the group from the remote northeastern town of Chibok.
We har kaje kana cewa bring back our girls. Oh, bring back our army. Bring back our army. Jonathan, girl, Christian, bring back our army.
16-year-old Pakistani rights activist Malala Yousafzai has promised to use her visit to Nigeria to push for the safe return of 219 schoolgirls abducted by insurgents exactly 90 days ago. She made the pledge during a private meeting with parents of some of the girls who were kidnapped by Boko Haram insurgents from Chibok, Borno State in April. Malala, whose 17th birthday is today, said her only wish this year is for the girls to return alive.
Those girls who are still in the abduction of Boko Haram, and I can feel the situation and the circumstances through which you are suffering now, and it's quite difficult for a parent to know that their daughter isn't with them and she is being abducted by a group, and we all don't know in which kind of conditions they would be. So it's a very sad moment, and we express our solidarity with you, and we are with you. We are standing up with you in your campaign of bring back our girls, bring back our daughters, because I consider those girls as my sisters. They are my sisters, and I'm going to speak up for them until they are released. And I am going to participate actively in Bring Back Our Girls campaign to make sure that they return safely and they continue their education. And thank you so much to you as well, that you are such brave parents, that you are speaking up for your daughters, you are not ignoring it. And for you, their life is precious. And for you, their life is like your own life. So thank you so much for your great work and for such courage that you have, for your really brave parents who have taken this step to speak up for their daughters and to speak up for their right of education. And I'm hopeful that the government would listen to your voice and they would listen to what you are saying. You just want your daughters back, you want your girls back. So I'd love to hear from you as well, so I can take your message and tell it to the president, whom you consider your father, and as well as I'll say it in my speech tomorrow, so that the world can listen to your views and to what's your message, what do you want.
Year-old Pakistani activist there, Malala Yousafzai. She's asking for one thing for her birthday today, the return of the girls. Now, still on Malala, the Bring Back Our Girls movement on Sunday publicly displayed 5 of the Chibok girls who escaped during the April 14 invasion of their school by Boko insurgents. Some of the parents of the 219 girls still in captivity also showed up at the venue of the group's daily sit-out protest in Abuja. None of the girls was allowed to speak to the media, but coordinator of the group, Obi Ezekwesili, told the gathering that their presence was further proof of the abduction. She later explained to CoreTV News why she joined the advocacy.
I am a reasonable enough person for any Nigerian seeing me standing concerning a particular issue to be able to surmise that it must be founded on truth. If I for 1 second thought that girls were not abducted, I would not in any way be associated.
In spite of assurances from the military, a community leader in Chibok insists that a large chunk of Borno State is in the hands of insurgents. Bogobitro says Nigeria may end up losing some part of the state to Boko Haram if the insurgents are not checked.
Boko Haram, that is this Sambisa forest area we are talking about, and western part of Damboa has totally been taken over by Boko Haram. So it is Boko Haram territory. Goza local government has been taken over. Central Borno taken over. Northern Borno taken over. So we are living in a state of siege in Borno State. It has to be noted that if this thing is not addressed and addressed early, we're going to lose part of our country to the Boko Haram. And in fact, so many local governments have already been lost.
Well, Nigeria's military authorities say there is no truth in recent reports of the escape of over 60 women from an insurgent camp in Borno State. Defense spokesman Chris Olukolade told CoreTV News in Abuja that there was no abduction in the first place. He also emphasized troops' readiness to check the excesses of insurgents in the northeast region.
Well, again, I will have advised that we also direct this at those who made the allegation in the first place. Cast your mind back to the fact that there was no time that we endorsed that report because we have no proof, we have no indication from the troops on ground, we didn't have any evidence of that incident. And there were people who spread the information online. Maybe those are the ones to answer this question. They're the ones who declared the missing. They should also tell you when they are found. The issue of securing a state that is under terrorist threat has always been a very hectic job. But in this instance, I'm assuming you are referring to Balmo Forest, and it could not have been possible to make the discoveries that we are finding there if it were not for good security. I think rather the security agencies should be commended for even noticing that such designs were in the making and for being able to take control of that place and clear it of every threat to the nation's security, rather than seeing it as an indication of lack of security. It's an opportunity for me to also reassure you and Nigerians that the security agencies are taking their responsibility very seriously, and every effort to combat terrorism with the best form of professionalism possible is in place. And it's a time to, advise those who would rather find fault with this exercise to try to understand what is going on than be hasty in criticisms and condemnation.
Now, 3 suspected kidnappers were killed by the police at Enwin village in Isoko South local government area of Delta State. The Delta State Police Public Relations Officer Celestina Kadu said the deceased were killed when men of the Dragon Squad of the police force stormed their den to rescue kidnapped victims. Kalu added that the victims, Cyril Jeba, Augustina Godwin from Ugeli, were kidnapped last Tuesday by unknown hoodlums. Kalu says the kidnappers engaged the police team in a gun duel, and in the process, 3 of the hoodlums identified as Samson Ogomare, Wisdom Ezomare, and Lucky, whose surname is unknown, were fatally wounded, while others escaped with bullet wounds. Police say the 2 victims were rescued unhurt. In the meantime, a media lecture organized to celebrate the 80th birthday of Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka focused on Wole Soyinka and the moral burden of literature. Ramsin Acheme was there. He fired in this report.
According to participants, Wole Soyinka has made Nigerian proud in the international sphere and also fought for better Nigeria.
I would start with a sense of humanity. I think that, more so than anything else about his personality, overrides everything. And, there's nothing that the man has written that does not address how to better humankind. There's nothing.
Ogun State Commissioner for Health, Olaokun Soyinka, who is also a son of the celebrant, said his father has been an activist who fought for the good cause of all Nigerians.
In a way, it also makes people sit and reflect. You can't have a man spend 80 years, of which probably 60, more than 60 have been spent. More than 60 have been spent dedicated to the Nigerian problem.
One of his daughters, Morimi Soyinka Onijala, said Soyinka is a man of integrity.
Professor Soyinka, my father, is a good man. Yes, he's an icon to the world, but to us, first and foremost, he's a father. To his siblings, he's a brother. Okay? And to the general public, I think most people see him, even before his literary works, they see him as somebody who fights for justice, who fights for the downtrodden.
The event ended with a cutting of cake by the family members and the guest speakers. Participants were also entertained by a solo performance of orchestra by Soyinka's granddaughter. Ramsen Acheme, CoreTV News, Lagos.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll visit Israel. Don't go away.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Now the rest of the news. Israel toughened its campaign against Gaza, warning Palestinians in the north to flee after Marines mounted a ground attack. Though diplomatic efforts to halt the bloodshed has intensified, as world powers prepared to meet over the spiraling bloodshed, the Palestinian death toll from a punishing Israeli air campaign hit 166, following the bloodiest day yet, in which 56 people were killed. Despite increasing calls for a ceasefire, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there was no end in sight, with the military warning residents of northern Gaza to flee. Militants in Gaza have pounded the south and center of the country with more than 630 rockets since the fighting began on July 8, in the biggest confrontation in and around the enclave since 2012. Israeli naval commanders raided the northern Gaza Strip on a mission to destroy longer-range rockets which have sent thousands fleeing for cover in cities as far away as Tel Aviv, Jerusalem and Handera in the north. Radio reports spoke of a fierce gun battle with Hamas militants in the Sudaniya district. The army said it had warned residents of the north to immediately leave their homes ahead of a major assault which will focus on the town of Beit Lahia. That's all. Thanks for watching. I'm Tolu Ojewumi. Good afternoon. See you again soon.